Hello and big welcome. I'm Cynthia Ruffin, the Director of Colors, LGBTQ Youth Counseling Services, and I am here in the beautiful Hubble Studios in downtown Los Angeles. I will be your guide through Colors' first ever virtual fundraiser. Now, 2020 has been an impactful year for all of us, but we know that you're here because you care deeply about the work that we do at Colors and about the mental health of LGBTQ identified youth in Los Angeles, across the country, and the world. Now we're going to introduce you to some wonderful guests. We'll have a big hello from the Colors community and a little bit of entertainment. Our hope is that we'll open your heart and you will open your pocketbooks. Yes, dear, this is a fundraiser, so we're glad that you're here. Now I gotta tell you, serving as Director of Colors has been a privilege for me. As a Black woman, a lesbian, and a lifelong social justice activist and advocate, protecting the rights of the LGBTQ+ community has been one of my passions for the last 25 years. And now, at this critical point in our history, the work we do is more important than ever. Now, one little thing before we go any further, a little techie thing. If you would like to maximize the picture that you're seeing, click on the little square at the lower right-hand side of your screen. Got it? Good. So why are we here? Well, first, we're here so I can tell you a little bit more about how Colors has continued to do our work even through this pandemic. And second, we're here to raise the financial security that we need to keep on moving into the future. Today, we launch Colors 2020 End of Year Fundraising Campaign, and it will go right throughout the end of December. Now at Colors, our most valuable assets are the people. And you're going to meet some of the inspiring people that make Colors work. They are our therapists, our advisory board members who are all volunteers, the professors in the LGBTQ specialization, our other volunteers and supporters. First, I'm going to introduce you to one of our therapists. So, who are Colors therapists? Well, some of them are people who have gone through their own coming out experience with all of the loneliness and isolation that accompanies it. Others are people that have witnessed their friends or their family members struggle with their sexual orientation and gender identity. Still others are people who simply recognize some of the injustices perpetuated against the LGBTQ community and feel compelled to step in and be part of the solution. All of our therapists commit to a rigorous course of study that prepares them to deliver LGBTQ affirmative services. All Colors counselors carry a full caseload along with their coursework, and the Colors waiting list is never empty. So now I'd like to introduce you to one of our superstar therapists, Asher Hung.
It's important for me to be an affirmative LGBTQ therapist because even though I am identified as a gay man, it really made me understand that I need to take special consideration for all the other parts and brothers and sisters and everything in between of being LGBTQ. It made me understand more about what the lesbian experience is like, what it's like to experience bisexual erasure, what the options are for transitioning as a trans person today, as well as understanding asexuality and intersex people, and just making me a much more sensitive person in addition to being a better clinician as a therapist.
Hello, Colors family and community. My name is Mike Freeman. My pronouns are he and him.
Hola, me llamo Enrique Lopez. My pronouns are he, his, and him, or él and ella for they in Spanish.
My name is Kelly Riggle-Hauer, and my gender pronouns are she and her.
My name is Nisha, and my gender pronouns are she and her.
My name is Mason. My gender pronouns are he, him, his, and I am zooming in from Culver City.
My name is Kimberly Tang, and my pronouns are she, her.
Hi, my name is London Jones, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
I'm Asher Hung from West Hollywood, California, and my pronouns are he, him, and his.
Roland Valencia, he, him, his.
Dr. Tanika Jackson, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
My name is Megan Hardy, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers.
Good morning. My name is Abba Horty, and my pronouns are he, him, his.
Michael Kearns, his, him.
The Colors community is strong. And we know, even stronger together, people are logged on from all over the country. So if you're logged on and watching this, please consider yourself part of the Colors community. And we want to hear from you. Use the Colors community hashtag and tell us what you envision for the future.
That all LGBTQ youth know that they are valuable, that they can show up as their authentic selves no matter where they go, and that they are really our guides in this world. So I hope that they continue to lean into their power and really show all of us the way.
I want them to feel empowered for who they are because they're essential in our world, especially with its healing. And I want them to know that they have a place at Colors to start their own healing process.
I look forward to a future when all of us have liberation and we hold it with confidence and brilliance and certainty.
Something that I hope for LGBTQ youth in our future, I want to get to a place where young people can be celebrated when they come out as transgender or queer or non-binary, where they don't have to be discriminated against. I think we need a baseline of tolerance with an ultimate goal of acceptance. Thank you, Colors family.
That they have a better society to live in. There's so many negative forces against us, the culture, institutions, politics, and I really want LGBTQ youth to have a better life than I did, and a more accepting life.
I hope that LGBTQ youth feels loved and accepted.
My hopes for the future for LGBTQ youth is that they can live in a world without worry and not have to worry that things are going to be taken away from them at any minute, or that people will judge them based on their LGBTQ status.
There's also this inner or internal reality, which is something that we as queer people have relied on. Well, you can call it spirit, you can call it vision, you can call it resilience, whatever you want to call it, that our youth really get connected, not to discover, because it's already there, but to get connected to that life force that all of us have. And that's how we've been able to not only survive, but to thrive.
So I want youth to feel as if they're important, they're heard, they're respected, they're seen, they're safe, so that they can live their truth and be the people that we know they're going to be. You know, this current election is showing us, with all of the LGBT individuals who are represented through Congress and Senate and, you know, the Sheriff's Department, and it's just amazing. It's amazing. And so I know that the youth of today are going to see that and feel like they can do anything. And so I just want them to be seen so that they can live their truth.
The queer community and the youth starts voicing their thoughts, starts fighting for equality, for justice. If we have any rights taken away, we fight together. We fight with pride. We fight with love. We fight back inequality. We fight back injustice, because we are justice. We are the voice of this world, and our voice is needed. The voice of the youth, the queer youth voice, is so needed in this world. And I hope everyone that can voices it, and everyone that can will have someone to voice their voices and magnify their voices.
And I hope that these younger people can get, I hope the period of carrying that pain and that horror or whatever happens, whether it's parents or peers or the media or society, it still exists, I know, sadly. Whatever that length of time of carrying that, I hope can be lessened by programs like Calif.
That one of the things I want for them is for them to not to fear their safety. They are a very marginalized population that feels oppressed often. And I hope for them to connect to as many resources that make their experience normalized and affirmed. And I hope that they have access to the resources that they need.
And now this.
Hi, I'm Britt Cussero. I'm a singer-songwriter based in Los Angeles, California. I'm also an associate marriage and family therapist, and I did my traineeship at Colors Youth. It was a life-changing experience to be on this side of something that's been so meaningful to me in my own life, and I want to encourage you to donate generously so we can continue to provide this pivotal service to my community, which is so lacking in terms of mental health. And I'm going to play a song for you today, which is about that and about my own journey growing and feeling seen and accepted, loved and affirmed as a queer person. So I hope you enjoy it. Well, now did you ever think we would be standing out here on the brink after all that we've said and not done, all the chances we've risked and not won, leaning out over the edge? I can see everything you have alleged. I see time curving in on its name until end and beginning are same. And I almost feel the me you have hinted that I used to be. I'm not quite sure how you could have known, how you counted the rings in my bones. And I almost hear the voice of my God and my people, my choice. And I almost begin to recall what it's like to be part of it all. What could have taken my song but a sheep who was wolf all along? I'll admit that I had my suspicions, still I leaned into fear and derision. You took me quite by surprise, not a flicker of wolf in those eyes, just a stirring of older sensations, just a child with the wisdom of nations. And I almost feel the me you have hinted that I used to be. I'm not quite sure how you could have known, how you counted the rings in my bones. But I almost hear I sometimes feel me. You have hinted that I used to be. I'm not quite sure just how to atone for so stubbornly guarding my bones, but I know I hear the voice of my God and my people, my choice, and I know that in time I'll recall that I'm already part of it all.
Dr. Bob Chernoff, and I'm here to talk about an important evolution that has occurred in the way that we're now providing therapy services to our LGBT youth clients. If we think about before the pandemic, way back in March 2020, and before then, we were offering therapy services the same way everybody did, which is in person, clients driving to a therapist's office, and then the student therapist talking to their supervisors, usually in person. And before the pandemic, we used to talk about, hey, maybe we could expand our services through teletherapy. Maybe we should think about using these technologies like Zoom to reach a broader group of people. And there was a lot of pushback on that. The therapy world can be mental health world can be very conservative. And no, we really should do it the old-fashioned way. That's really the best way to provide mental health services. And then lo and behold, along comes the global pandemic. And since about March, I'd say, of 2020, the entire therapy world in mental health has been offering services through Zoom and platforms like that remotely. And lo and behold, people have been getting great services. We've discovered that it works. And so too, through LGBT Colors and our youth program, we have been doing the same thing. And what we found is people are getting the services, more people are being reached, it's more convenient. So if there's some kind of silver lining to this terrible pandemic, it's that we're able to offer much more service to more people. My guess is that when this terrible pandemic is over, we will probably continue making that an option where we can reach people and more people remotely for those for whom that's the best way they can get service. And we'll probably go back to offering mental health services the traditional way. So all in all, this will probably be a permanent change, and it's a good thing, I think, overall for serving our LGBT youth.
Now, I bet you're wondering where the Monies for Colors comes from, and I'll tell you. Now, while Antioch University acts as our fiscal sponsor and provides things like my office space, my computer, my phone, the majority of our money comes from grants and support of community members like you. And this year of pandemic has been busy for Colors. We hired our second clinical supervisor thanks to the support of LA Care. We are poised to start offering services at our second location, where the population is 80% Latinx and up to 20% struggling with homelessness and food insecurity. We started a speaker series that this year will be looking at issues facing the trans community, and, drumroll please, after almost 10 years, we have launched our brand new website just a week ago. Check it out, colorsyouth.org.
It's a challenging time to be trans. With COVID impacting LGBTQIA+ people more harshly, and under 4 years of what has been called the Discrimination Administration, stealing away more trans rights each month, and corresponding anti-trans violence on the rise, particularly affecting trans and non-binary people of color, it has become increasingly difficult for trans and non-binary folks to hold onto our dignity and in some cases, our lives. Difficult, but not impossible. Thankfully, we are a resilient and impassioned community. We've reversed decades of being pathologized medically and psychologically because we have science and biology on our side. We have learned that embracing our remarkable diversity and unity with our LGBTQIA and straight allies is the best way to proceed against bigoted presidents, politicians, fantasy writers, and those who try to deny us our rights and our dignity. We are fierce. And we're beginning to have more trans, non-binary, and LGBTQIA+ resources available to us than we did just a few years ago. I'm very proud to serve on the board of a very significant one, Antioch University LA's Colors Counseling Services, which provides free therapy services to LGBTQIA+ youth aged 25 and younger. Antioch is known for its LGBTQIA+ affirmative programs, and its therapists, including myself, are well trained in these areas, including those enrolled in the LGBT+ specialization in clinical psychology. Colors is the right program at the right time, an essential ally in supporting trans and non-binary dignity, as well as LGBTQIA+ people. And I hope you will join me in supporting them for the future.
Hello, my name is Christine Mangum. I am a soprano section leader with the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles, and my pronouns are she, her, hers, and I will be singing Stand in the Light by Jordan Smith. Stand in the light and be seen as we are. Didn't I tell you I hear what you say? Never look back as you're walking away. Carry the music, the memories, and keep them inside you. Laugh every day. Don't stop those tears from falling down. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. With courage and kindness, hold on to your faith. You get what you give, and it's never too late to reach for the branch, climbing up, leaving sadness behind you. Fight hard for love. We can never give enough. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Riding the storms that come raging toward us, we dive. Holding our breath as we break through the surface with arms open wide. With arms open wide. This is who I am inside. This is who I am. I'm not gonna hide. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. Whoa. 'Cause the greatest risk we'll ever take is by far to stand in the light and be seen as we are. To stand in the light and be seen as we are. So stand in the light and be seen as we
Your donations are the lifeblood of Colors, and you all donate for so many different reasons. Kelly Riggle-Hauer is going to share her reason for donating to Colors.
I've been getting up in the morning to do Kelly Reads, where I record myself reading stories aloud to my alumni who range from sort of preschool to college age and their parents. And I've found that as I choose my books to read, they're about community, they're about honoring self, about honoring the true self in others. And I find myself, I have my little stuffed animals, Mischievous Puppy and Shy Snail and Clive the Calf. And I remember when I was in a talking circle with my little kids about 12 years ago, at a point where I realized as a kindergarten and first grade teacher that it's never too young to start talking about gender identity. I had a little kid from the year before who is now a second grader stop me in the hall one day and say, "Thank you for not having a girl's line and a boy's line, because I wouldn't have known which line to be in." And like, it really like opened my heart, like split it open and healed it at the same time. And I said, "Thank you so much for telling me that, honey." And I immediately went back to my classroom. And as the kids came back from lunch and I did Kelly Reads, we closed with a talking circle. And our talking circle was Shy Snail, Mischievous Puppy, and Impulsive Puppy, and Clive the Calf. And they introduced themselves with their preferred pronouns. And Shy Snail said, "Hi, I'm Shy Snail. My preferred pronouns are she and her." And Impulsive Puppy said, "Hi, I'm Impulsive Puppy. My preferred pronouns are he, him, and his." And Clive the Calf says, "Hi, I'm Clive the Calf, and I like to go by they." And then all of my animals told a little story about their week. And then we went around the circle and each kid talked about their preferred their name, their preferred pronouns, and what was their like highlight or big learning of the week. And we started to just do this all the time. Like I would be reading a book and I would just say, or kids who call themselves they. It just at first was something I had to think about, and eventually has become pretty much second nature. By my last year, we were starting to talk about things like non-binary, and little kids get this stuff really well. They probably get it better than older folks. And it makes me really happy that Colors recognizes that different people are at different places on this road to understanding and embracing and connecting with humanity that's bigger than the little boxes that we've often put people in. And it reminds me of a conversation I had with a close friend who's biracial and talked about, like people saying, "Well, are you Black or are you white?" years ago. And her saying, "I am many things and Black and white are only a part of it." And so Colors seems to really embrace the bigness of people and to invite others who connect with Colors to open up to the possibility of bigger things.
Colors began almost 10 years ago. 2021 makes it official, 10 years old. And in that time, there have been some bumps in the road, like who could have guessed this pandemic, right? But we are scrappy and we have managed to shine through all of it. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce you to Colors founder, Doug Sadownick. He is going to tell us a little bit of why Colors is important now more than ever before.
In 2005, we started the LGBT specialization, which was the first attempt to train therapists, I think in the country, how to work with the unique needs of the LGBTQ population. Then we had this kind of crazy idea at the time in 2006, but it really took till 2010. We should start a clinic devoted to the needs of the youth community under 25, the queer youth community, and especially the people of color community, because we could feel that they were so ripe with potential. They had so much worthiness, but they weren't getting the care that they needed. So we thought, okay, let's create a clinic. But we didn't all have a business background, and we sort of didn't know all of the steps. So we started to find a location. We found a great location. We hired the clinicians. We hired the supervisors. We raised thousands of dollars because there was such an interest. And all of a sudden, boom, Colors was born. And the youth came and the clinicians learned. And we developed a really, I think, terrific affirmative expertise in learning how to work with the problems our youth are facing, which is due to homophobia, due to child abuse, due to state violence. The beautiful potential of our queer youth is thwarted because of these hidden traumas. So we want to be mutual, we want to be democratic, we want to work with our youth as colleagues, but we've been able to actually engage them to help open them up so they can face the things that are bothering them, and in so doing release this wonderful stored up potential to become leaders, to live fulfilled lives, to live enriched lives, to live the lives that they were born to live as queer youth, and in so doing give back to the larger community.
Last year has taught me the importance of asking for help from your community, from those nearby, and knowing that folks that are showing up for us are really here to get us through this together.
Something positive that I learned about myself during COVID was it doesn't take a lot to thrive. And I mean this in a materialistic way. I've decluttered my place and have really made my home my sanctuary, so that every time I come in my house, I am able to walk in with my husband and we feel excited to be home and know that our space is our own space and it's just for us.
Quiet and reflective and thinking about what it is that I want to do.
First, I learned patience because there was a lot of uncertainty and there was a lot of chaos. And we, information was coming from all directions and we didn't know what to believe. And then you're in the house, right? So you can't go anywhere. But initially there was a sense that I had to get so much done, right? I had to clean the entire house. I had to organize this. I had to remodel that. I said, oh, this is a great time to write this book and to do that. And then I had to take a step back and take a deep breath and say, wait a minute. This is a pandemic. It is okay for you to take care of yourself and your family. It is okay for you to take a deep breath. It is okay for you to sit down for a minute and be quiet and be still. And so I learned to be patient with myself. I learned to take some time to relax. And I learned to just accept the process and be calm and know that this too shall pass and we're going to come out on this on top. We're going to come out of it on top and it's going to be okay. And once I did that, I felt less stress and less anxiety. And I've been able to get through it. So.
In the face of an external calamity, it provides a fantastic space for introspection and interpersonal growth.
Resilience, creativity, and just the urgency to be a change agent in terms of just being involved and making sure that we don't let this crisis get away with that really fundamentally changing a lot of things that that are just not working for, I would say, most people, certainly for the LGBTQ community.
I have learned that everything is connected.
Through learning about poetry and singing, those have attached me, as has COVID and the experience and tying it into HIV/AIDS, have re-taught me and scrambled my mind. They scrambled it more in many ways, but about compassion, I think, and love and using one's voice, not to just sing, but to speak out.
During this pandemic, I learned that I can weather change, I can pivot. I had a really busy life before this pandemic. I was out of my house often. I saw a lot of people. I socialized a lot. And I learned that the socializing that I do now can look very different. It's not a replacement, but I'm able to make connections. It kind of forces me to be uncomfortable and be really creative in the way I make connections.
During the pandemic, I've really had to deal with a lot of isolation. I went through a breakup, and I really had to be able to kind of look outside of my relationship and outside my partner and strengthen a lot of bonds with my friends and my community and really build a lot of inner strength. And I feel like I'm in a lot better place now than I was.
This last year of the pandemic has really taught me to be with myself and figure out the things that I really enjoy to do by myself, since I can't go out and see a whole lot of people. So I've really learned what I love.
Full disclosure, I did have COVID for about 6 months. I got it in March, and I almost died twice. I had to be rushed back to the hospital. I realized how durable I am, how much strength I have, or a will to go on, you know, that power of will to keep on fighting even when you know you're dying. And that power has got me through the whole thing. And thankfully now I am recovering. And I also learned in this pandemic that we have to support each other as the community, and also have to back up each other with whatever is going on right now, with what's happening in the world. Our voices are needed, and especially during this pandemic.
The pandemic has really put us in a place where our intentions are necessary. So connecting on purpose, finding joy on purpose, centering in conversations and dialogues on purpose. This pandemic has put us in this virtual world that I think we have to be very intentional about navigating.
That's it, folks. But before you go, remember, the best way to make a contribution to the Colors program is through our brand new website, colorsyouth.org. Check it out. And please post this video on all of your social media so all of your friends and family can also learn about the Colors program. It's been an honor to share a little bit about the Colors story with you. And now I'm signing off with this wonderful performance.
Hello, everyone. My name's Abdullah Hall. You can call me Abby. My pronouns are they, them, theirs, and I'm the artistic director of the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles. And we are delighted to be a part of this amazing fundraiser. Please make sure you donate. And I'd like to introduce our final song. It is called Don't Give Up, featuring Maggie Zavo and the Trans Chorus of Los Angeles.
Everyone knows this world ain't perfect, but what you got going on, it makes you worthy. Any way you turn, or any way I slice it, someone's gonna get burned, but those scars are truly worth it. One day you'll see that the answer you seek